Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Zahira. Today I want to talk about Qatar Airways. So I have been talking about different airlines on my YouTube channel in order to give you some information so that it would be helpful to you in case if you are applying for that particular airline or you want to know the insights of these airlines. Maybe you want to create a resume particular to that airline. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Qatar Airways. What is their vision, mission, maybe their management, or some keywords that you can use. Also, some interview questions. So there is an interview setting that Qatar Airways follow. For example, in case if they are calling you directly to an interview location, how is the interview they going to look like? Or maybe if they are taking your virtual interview and then calling you for an interview face to face. So there is an English test and there is a SCAR check round, and then final interview. What all questions can they ask you during your final interview or face to face interview with them? So all these things I'm going to cover in this video. So let's start with some of the background of this particular airline. This airline is based out of Qatar, Doha. So in case if you are planning to apply for this particular airline as their cabin crew, you will be based out of Doha. So you'll be operating flights from Doha. This airline was founded on 22nd November 1993 and it commenced its operations on 20th January 1994. Fleet size for Qatar Airways is 258 aircrafts. This aircraft includes Airbus 320, 330, 380, Boeing 777 Dreamliner, Boeing 787 and 737. Total destinations that Qatar Airways have is 198. So all this information like their fleet size or maybe their management or destinations is just a good to know information in case if you want to highlight this during your interview answers so that the recruiters will know that you know about the airline or you really want to join this particular airline. That's why you have done the research and showed interest and given time in researching. Current CEO of this airline is Badr Mohammed Almir. So this month I got one international layover, that was Doha. I think I went there last time as well. So usually I am getting one international layover in a month, and from the last 2 months I'm going to Doha. The weather there is very hot, but I'm saying this because when I went to their airport, Hamad International Airport, yes, this airport is so amazing, and this airport has got so many awards as well. So not only the airline, not only Qatar Airways, but the airport itself has got so many awards. So there are so many brands in that airport. Everything you will find there, everything. Cars, bikes, all these showpieces, showrooms, everything is available there in such a huge airport. And also I feel that passing the immigration, customs, all these things is very easy. They have made it all automatic, so there is no person sitting behind the immigration counter. You just have to go and scan your passport. It does not take any time, so just go there and you do it. And maybe that's why they call it state-of-the-art airport. So before going to how the interview setting looks like for Qatar Airways and what all questions they are going to ask you during your interview, also at the end I would want to give you some tea about this particular airline as far as I know, or maybe what I have heard. Before all those things, I want to share some keywords as usual. There are some amazing keywords that they use on their website. Also some sentences that I'm going to share with you which I have seen in the videos. So the cabin crew or maybe other departments also, employees have shared their insight about this company as to how it is to work for Qatar Airways. So they say we are breaking industry records. Of course they are. It's such a huge airline. It is one of those 5-star airlines in Middle East. I feel with this video I'm going to cover all the big airlines in Middle East: Emirates, Etihad and Qatar Airways. There are other airlines as well which are very good, I'm sure, in the Middle East. Kuwait Airways, Gulf Air, Fly Dubai, Fly Nas, all these airlines. But I feel most of us only keep talking about these three, right? And maybe Riyadh Air is also going to come in the picture very soon. So they say we are breaking industry records. We are innovating. Innovating is a keyword which is very useful that can be mentioned in your resume. You can say in your interview answers as well that I am somebody who likes to keep innovating, maybe your skills, your talents, your hobbies, everything. We have built a world where everything is possible. When they say we have built a world where everything is possible, they also say impossible is only a challenge, and together we can turn those challenges into triumphs. So when they say together we can turn those challenges, meaning they are referring to teamwork. Also, they are saying that they are a company where people from different parts of the world will come together and they will work together. So they are working towards the same goal. So teamwork is very important in cabin crew job. Together everything is possible. So when you are given a task, maybe during the interview you are given a task of teamwork. So it is very important for them to check whether the candidates that have applied possess this skill of teamwork. And it is difficult to work or attain a certain task with somebody that you have just met. And that is going to happen every day during your flights because you meet different people every day. So you have to work with them, keeping your differences aside, because we all will be different. So whatever you think, your opinions, everything has to be kept aside while you're working together, and you have to work in a team. Qatar Airways says, or maybe they advertise by saying, we dare to deliver an experience like no other. We have grown fast, overcame challenges, and set trends that others follow. But the story does not stop there. Our future is written by our people. So when they say our future is written by our people, meaning they would want exceptional people in their team. So when they are hiring you, they're taking your interviews, they're going to look for those qualities. You can use by saying, Qatar Airways is a place which emphasizes talent, which emphasizes differences. But the story doesn't end there. Our future is shaped by our people. When they say this line, this indicates that they value their employees, their cabin crew, right? So when you go for the interview, you can say that as Qatar Airways says that their future is built by the people, I'm sure that the company is valuing their employees, their talents and everything that they had to bring. They also say bring your ideas and passion to a place where you can make real impact in the fastest growing organization. So yes, this airline is growing rapidly. This particular sentence or these keywords can be used in your resume, that why do you want to join Qatar Airways, in your why are you applying for Qatar Airways, basically. Your description part, you can start by writing customer service professional, bringing in 2 years of customer service experience, wish to join exceptional cabin crew team of Qatar Airways by bringing my ideas and passion to the fastest growing airline in the world. They also say we are united by our differences and driven by our passion. So you have to show them somehow that you are passionate about the airline. So this airline, a little bit of history about this airline is, Qatar Airways was founded in 1993 with just 2 aircrafts. 258 aircrafts today. Now I'm going to share you some sentences which I've seen in the videos of Qatar Airways employees. So these videos were taken for interviewing these employees so that they could share their insight about how it is like to work with this company. What motivates you to join Qatar Airways? Qatar's progressive and forward-thinking nature. Qualities that I'm going to share with you. Somehow you have to manage to mention it in your resume as well as work towards building those qualities. Also showcase these qualities during your interview. You can showcase. Okay, so how will you showcase these qualities during your interview? One is you can talk about it in your answers, right? Second is you can show them that you are a team player, somebody who is patient. Maybe you do not cut somebody while they are speaking, or you say you appreciate someone. So let's say you are having a task wherein you have to work in a team and then you have to share your opinions. So what will you do? Somebody is talking, maybe you call them by their name. Let them finish first. Once they are done, you call them by their name and then you thank them for your opinion. Maybe you agree with them or you disagree with them. Now, in case if you disagree with this person, this is where they will judge you. So in case if you want to share another opinion, so you can say very politely, calmly, there is no debate here, right? So you have to be very polite, but you have to put across your point. So you can say, thank you so much for sharing your point. I really appreciate that. But this is the other way that you can look at it. Or this is the other way that we can look at it. Share your perspective then. The employee said, Doha, Qatar is a home away from home, and Qatar Airways employees are like their family. Somebody also says that flying is addictive. It is actually addictive. When I am on my off days or when I take long PLs, paid leaves, that is the time I miss flying. Though whenever I am flying, I feel like, okay, I want to sleep more. I don't want to go today. I need a lot of motivation for night flights. It is addictive because in case if I do not fly for just 2-3 days, I start missing it. I start missing going on flights. Somebody says flying is addictive and seeing new people every day, learning from them, knowing other cultures, which is something very rewarding. So of course you can add this in your answer. Why do you want to become a cabin crew? One of the point could be, I want to become a cabin crew because you will meet different people every day in the form of your colleagues as well as passengers. You will always keep learning new things. You will learn and grow. You will know about different cultures, and that can be rewarding. Okay. So another information about Qatar Airways is in 1997 the company had a big boom. Why? Because the previous CEO has joined, gave the airline an entirely new face. In 1997, Mr. Akbar Al Bakr has joined Qatar Airways as their CEO, and he is the one who has taken the airline from start till here. And it's one of the biggest airlines in the world. As the company is growing rapidly day by day, you will also learn and grow. It's a place where we go places together. That was their slogan or tagline. Another tagline was the airline you can rely on. So you can travel safe with Qatar. Qatar Airways is the fastest growing and dynamic airline in the world. We are known across the industry for challenging established norms, dedication, hard work, strive for excellence. And if you have that, they are definitely going to hire you. Now, there are two ways this airline, or mostly the Middle Eastern airlines, are going to conduct their interview. 3 days this interview will go on. One is their open day, another is assessment day, and the last one will be the final interview day. So in the open day, this will happen only in case they are not taking your virtual interview. So most of the airlines, because of COVID, have started taking virtual interviews. Some are still following it, some are not, depending on whether they are going to come to your city, organize interview events or not. So both can be possible, virtual as well as open day can be possible. Qatar Airways, during their open days, you will only have 10 to 15 seconds to meet the recruiter and make an impact. So this is where the first impression will count. First impression, they will look at you first, right? Before you can speak anything, they will look at your professionalism, your presentation, the way you have dressed yourself, whether you have followed all the dress code guidelines, how is your makeup, how is your hair. So everything, plus your body language, very important. How is your body language? So everything would be seen there first, and on that basis, most of the time, like 90% on that basis, they will hire you. When you go for the open day, that is the CV submission day. So there would be n number of candidates. If it's an open day, they have not taken any virtual round, meaning there is no filtration. So in case if they are coming to, let's say, metro cities in India, Calcutta, Delhi, Mumbai, you will find a lot of crowd there. That means a lot of competition. So you have to dress amazingly, perfectly. You cannot leave anything 1%, so that they know that yes, you are here and you are a dedicated candidate. Prepare a perfect resume according to what they are looking for, and highlight the things, because as I said, only 10 to 15 seconds are there. So they will look at you, then they will look at your resume, they might ask 1 or 2 questions, and then they will decide whether you can go forward to the second day, that is the assessment day, or not. So prepare very well for this first day. What question they can ask you on open day? Very basic, simple question, just to know you. They can ask you, tell me something about yourself. Maybe they can look at your resume, they can check if you have mentioned any hobbies. They might ask you about that. Maybe they will ask you about your studies or your experience. Any 1 or 2 questions they will ask you. How to make an impression here? As you would have really less time to make an impression, it is important for you to go ahead and greet them. So when you go, say, "Good afternoon, my name is Zahira. It is pleasure meeting you today." And then wait for them to say something. So they will look at your resume, they will greet you back. Whenever you get an opportunity, you can also showcase that you are thankful to them for organizing this event for you all, and you're excited as well, really excited to be here. Thank you so much for organizing this event today. Now let's say they like you, and they will give you one invitation card for the next day. It could be the very next day or maybe some other day. So you'll get to know the date and time. This day is your assessment day. In this assessment day, there are going to be a number of things happening. Mostly the sequence of this rounds of interview would be English test first. After the filtration of English test, they will check the scars, tattoos, birthmarks. Third will come the reach test. I have heard people saying Qatar Airways English test is extremely difficult. This English test will consist of checking how your grammar is. I'll tell you how and what kind of questions can be there. So it's basically 25 points and 20 minutes. You will have to mark each answer. It could be multiple choice as well. This question and answer, this questionnaire, this question paper, which is your English test, is divided into 3 parts. So question 1 to 5 is all about Doha, how the city is. So there will be a paragraph about the city, how Doha is. And then there will be questions with multiple choice answers. You have to select the right answer from there. Question 6 to 15, it's also about reading part. So, wherein you have to read and to complete the sentence by choosing the right word from the choices. For this particular section, second part, you'll have to work on your grammar and parts of speech. Part is from the question number 16 to 25, which is a conversation between a cabin crew and a passenger, as well as passenger and a passenger. So how would you handle situations? They will give you options. You'll have to select the correct option. Once this is done, once you clear your English test, you will be then called for scar, tattoos and birthmarks check. They will check any scars that you might have on your face or hands or in the body, which is visible while wearing the uniform. So if you have any scars, any birthmarks, as I suggested earlier, if you have any scar on your face, I have one chickenpox scar somewhere here on my forehead. So if you have it, you conceal it. You learn concealing it. Try to conceal it from now only, so that when the day of interview comes, you can conceal it properly. You conceal the scar. You go for the interview. When this round comes and they ask you, please declare anything that you have. You tell them that you have this scar, but I can easily conceal it with the concealer. You can show it to them. Even if you could not conceal it for some reason, maybe you're not using proper products, you do not have proper products at the moment, you are not able to conceal it properly, they are anyways going to train you how to do it during your training. So whatever scars that you have, I would suggest you to be loyal, because this airline will definitely appreciate loyalty. So you be loyal and you declare any scar that you have. So not only for this particular airline, I would suggest you to be loyal to any company that you are applying to, because loyalty is appreciated everywhere. So once scar test is done, once you have declared everything that you have and they have cross-checked it, you will be asked to do a reach test. So this reach test will be 212 centimeters. Particularly for Qatar Airways, I do not believe that they require a certain height. So whatever your height be, if you are able to reach 212 centimeters on your tiptoes, so your arm is extended and you are standing on your tiptoes like this, and if you are able to reach 212 centimeter, there would be a tape on the wall. If you can reach it, you are good to go. Questions that they ask during their interview, it could be during their open day or it can be during their final interview. So they might ask you, how did you prepare for this interview? They ask you this question, what can you answer, or how can you answer for that matter? First, say something that I really emphasize on is research, right? So you can first say, I have done my research first and foremost, made myself eligible in terms of developing my skills. You can say previously I am working, or maybe currently I am working here, and here on a day-to-day basis I am working on developing my team working skills, or maybe problem solving skills. All these skills that they are looking for, you can highlight that. So first is, how did you prepare for this interview? You have done your research. You have done your research about what they are looking for in their candidate. Second, what is the airline? How is the airline? What would be their role and responsibilities? You can also say that this is one of the world's best airline, that's why I would want to join it. You can also say that I have researched about the culture of this airline, how open they are, that how do they value their people who are bringing their ideas and passion to this company, and how do they value the differences that we all have. All these things you can mention here. Apart from that, you can also mention you want to join Qatar Airways because of the amazing training that they provide. When you say amazing training that they provide, they will know that yes, you have done your research. Also, second point after research could be you were upskilling yourself. You were doing some courses. Maybe you were doing some online courses. See, when I say some courses, it does not mean that you need to do a cabin crew course. There are some websites, Coursera, Skillshare, Udemy, that provide free courses on customer service, maybe first aid. All these online courses that are there in your free time, if you can do it and have that certification, you can share that in this particular answer. Then you can also say that you have joined your previous or current company to gain customer service experience so that you can develop your skills in customer service so that you can one day join Qatar Airways. In this company, you are learning about problem solving skills, how to talk to passengers, how to work in a team environment, how to develop your customer service skills, all those list of skills that is required. Then you have prepared yourself in terms of grooming. You have seen some videos maybe of how a Qatar Airways cabin crew looks like, how do they carry themselves, how do they present themselves, and that is how you have prepared yourself for your grooming. If you're comfortable, you can also say that you have prepared yourself mentally and emotionally by visualizing the entire interview process. There is nothing wrong in saying it because even they know that when you mentally rehearse something, be it an interview setting, interview scenario, when you actually appear for the interview, that fear, that anxiety that you have for the interview will diminish a bit or maybe a lot. So it is also advisable to practice something, rehearse something in your mind first before actually doing it. Example, if you're going to go and give some speech, what do? You learn the speech, right? You practice the speech in front of the mirror. You try to give it. So you prepare your interview answers also. So why not rehearse the entire interview setting and visualize it? Another question can be, what motivates you to do your job at your best? You can say, I'm a people's person. You like customer service. You like talking to people on a daily basis. That is what motivates you to do your job at the best. But when you say customer service, you also need to show an understanding that customer service is not going to be pleasant all the time. Why? Because passengers are different, coming from different parts of the world. They might want something we might not be able to provide at that particular time. There could be conflicts on board, right? So you have to show them the understanding that you are equally excited to handle conflicts as well. Why are you excited to handle conflicts? Because it does not only give you a learning experience, but it will also give you a sense of satisfaction that you have done something for your passenger. In Indigo, they say, in case if you are not able to resolve a customer's issue, but you need to make sure that the passengers know, customers know that our processes might not be good, but our people are amazing. They might ask you, tell me some of your strengths. So you can say public speaking, teamwork, all these keywords that we have used, whatever skills that they are looking for. In case if you possess that, you can mention it in your strengths. Weakness. Now, this is a tricky one. If they ask you weakness and you avoid this question, that is not gonna work. You have to answer. You have to show them that you are self-aware, but you have to answer in such a way that something that is required for this particular job. And if you say that is your weakness, that is going to be a disadvantage, right? That is going to give you a minus point. So you have to look for something that is not in the job position, that is not required while doing the job, and mention that particular thing. So weakness, I could say that writing skills. As a cabin crew, you do not need much writing skills, right? So you can say writing skills is my weakness, but I am at the very same time working towards improving it. It is very important to say that you're working towards doing something to improve your weakness. First is you are self-aware that you know, okay, this particular thing I need to work upon. Second is you are a proactive person. You are somebody who is interested in doing things. You're not somebody who is aware about something and just leave it like that. So you're taking actions, you're taking steps to do something about it and improve it. Describe yourself in one sentence. So now you have a sentence, right? You do not have a word. You have a sentence here to speak on. So what can you say? Whatever you are saying, whatever skill you are adding, that I am this, I am that, you have to back it up with some experience. You can say something along the lines as, I would describe myself as somebody who is a hardworking and dedicated individual who was working as well as studying at the same time. So because you are doing and managing both the things together, you are hardworking as well as you are dedicated. You can also say I am positive and supportive of other people, and one of my strengths is to work well in a team environment. So some of the questions that they mostly ask during their final interview. So let's say you have passed their open day, you have passed the assessment day, now comes the day of one-on-one interview with the recruiter. This is the final interview, and here they are going to ask you certain questions so that they can know you thoroughly. So they might ask you, are you willing to serve alcohol? Why? Because they want to know whether you are willing to do that or not on board, because in Qatar Airways they do serve alcohol in all the classes, I believe, economy, business and first, everywhere. Second is, do you have any relatives working in Qatar Airways? I feel that this is just a good to know information for them. They want to know whether you have anybody who is there currently. If you just be honest and say whether you have it or not, it will not going to make any difference. Another thing that they could ask you is, if something happens, would you initiate or just wait and see? So they want to know whether you are somebody who is going to take initiative or not. Mostly you should say yes, I will take initiative, but at the same time, if somebody else, maybe some of your team member is also initiative, I'm also good at following. Another question could be, can you do multiple tasks? Please give me an example. So in our job profile will definitely make you do multiple tasks at a time. So there are impromptu requests from passengers all the day. Not only passengers, your internal colleagues as well. So how do you handle that? Are you somebody who would be calm in such a situation? See, as human beings, we are not made for multitasking, and it could be difficult for us. There are going to be situations which is going to be difficult for you, not only during your work as well as in your interviews, which is fine. But it depends on how your body language will be at that time while answering that. If interviewer is asking you something that you are not prepared of, how is your body language? How are your facial expressions? Do you pay attention to that? Second is how calm you are. You have to be calm, right? You cannot show it to the passengers that you were not ready for this. Oh my God, what have you asked me? I'm not ready for it. I do not know the answer. So you have to back this answer up with an experience. Maybe you have done some multiple tasks in your previous work, or if you do not have an experience, maybe you have done something during your school days or college days which involve multitasking. Another question, do you care about your appearance? Yes, of course you care about your appearance. You have to care about your appearance because first impression, right? So you will definitely tell them you care about your appearance. How do you care about your appearance? You take care of your diet. You take care of how you're looking, how you're physically appearing. You also take care of your hygiene. Take care of your mind as well, because when you take care of your mind, that is how you will react. What is going inside, you will react in the same manner. So you take care about all these things, and that is how your appearance is. Another question they can ask you during your final interview is, if a person is not loyal, should they leave the company? As far as I know, as far as I have heard people talking about this airline, Qatar Airways is an airline which is definitely going to appreciate loyalty. And for that matter, in any company, all the employees should be loyal. So you will have to say that yes, you will prefer somebody to be loyal, and if somebody has not shown that if they are not, they should leave the company, because there are no second chances, right? And if they ask you, are you a loyal person, you will definitely say yes, loyalty is one of the values that I carry with me. Rate your loyalty within 1 to 10. So you'll definitely give the highest marks. Have you ever asked your colleague for a favor, and what was that? All these answers that you are giving has to be backed by an experience. So any experience you need to think about wherein you have asked a favor to your colleague, even if it's a small favor like a pen, anything that you would need during your work or maybe outside your work as well, you can share that. They ask you, have you borrowed any object from your friends? So in case if you're somebody who do not have a previous experience, they may ask you this. So you can borrow anything, right? You can borrow clothes, you can borrow books, anything, right? So any example you have to share. In this questions, they are just checking what are your listening skills, whether you're listening to the question properly or not, in terms of they are asking you to share an experience, right? So you have to share an experience as well. Also, they are checking your communication skills. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? There are many introverts who are able to do the job, right? So it's, if you say I am an introvert who cannot talk to people, no, that's not going to work. That is a minus point. Because this industry would require you to talk to people. So yes, you can say I am an introvert at times, I'm an extrovert depending on the situation that I am. If you are an introvert who cannot talk to people, who does not like to socialize, I'm sure you will not be interested in this job. But in case if you feel that you are an introvert, I'm sure you are able to hold a conversation with people. You are able to make friends, you are able to talk to different people every day. And if you are, that is what you need to highlight. So I would suggest avoid saying that you are an introvert. There is no harm in case if you are able to explain your answer in a better manner. But if you cannot, always choose extrovert or introvert at times, or extrovert depending on the situation that you are in. Another question, please envision yourself in the aviation industry in the next 5 years. So they are just checking whether you are going to be with the company for a long term or not. It is better to say that you have plans to stay in the company, because they are going to give you training for 2 months. And then if you're somebody who's going to leave the company just within a year or two, all their resources that they are using to train you is going to get wasted, and they would definitely want somebody who are experienced in the company, right? So tell them that you're planning to stay in the company. If your friend stole something, what would you do? What can you do? You will first try to approach your friend. You will tell them the consequences of what is going to happen for stealing something, and you will try to make them understand that the consequences are not worth it. Do you like to make a report at work, and why? So according to me, this question is to check how attentive you are, how much attention do you pay on things. Maybe in case if you're doing something and you are not doing it in a satisfactory manner, and you want to improve yourself in that particular thing, and you're making a note of it. That is how you're learning and growing. I believe that was all. Something that I missed talking about was what will happen if they call you for a virtual round first. So one is, instead of open day, they will take a virtual round, then the assessment day and the final interview. So assessment day and final interview remains the same. You can give it from anywhere. Usually they have used this application called Sonru initially during COVID. So in case if they are going to continue with virtual interview, I am sure that they are going to use the same application. Then you will have to record yourself. Some question will appear on the screen. Basic questions or questions that we have just discussed. Questions will appear on screen, and then you have to record your answers. You will definitely have to be well groomed, even if it's virtual interview. So between the crew community, this gossips about the Qatar Airways was there. We used to talk about it a lot. Some major differences had taken place in this particular airline since the last few months. So now their social media policy has changed. So now, initially, they were not allowed to post any pictures in uniform on social media. Though I have heard that they were allowed to post pictures on social media in uniform previously as well, but your account has to be professional. This airline is based out of UAE. This airline is based out of Middle East, and culture in Middle East is a bit different comparing to Western culture. So as per their culture, your account, social media account, has to be professional in terms of what you are posting, what are you doing in your reels, and what are you wearing. In case if it's not professional, you cannot add any pictures in your uniform. Now that social media policy had been relaxed to an extent, something else that has been changed, this is the tea that I am giving you, is the curfew. So the curfew was there for 12 hours. So this means that before a duty, you need to be present in your apartment for 12 hours. You cannot go anywhere. Yes, for 45 minutes you can go. It could be for grocery shoppings or anything that you might need to do. Just for 45 minutes in any time before your duty, but not more than that. You cannot go during your curfew time anywhere, meaning let's say if somebody is staying in India and they have their off, 2 offs together. People would prefer to come back here, right? To spend those 2 days with their family or maybe do something here back at home. They were allowed to do that, but they have to be at their apartments or back there in Doha 12 hours before the start of their next duty. So you hardly have any time, right? 2 days off and then you have to be there before your next flight 12 hours prior to that. So this curfew was pertaining to night. So I'm not sure what are the timings, but night times till sometime in the early morning, you cannot leave your apartment, which could be for safety reasons as well. You cannot leave your apartment and you have to be present in your apartment unless you're on a layover, of course. I have seen many candidates, many people I have met were not able to or maybe reluctant to join this airline because of some reasons. 2 of them are here to join this airline, but now this is relaxed, so yes, something good, right? So in case if you're planning to join this airline, prepare an amazing resume. For this particular airline, I always say you have to prepare a resume for the airline that you're applying for. You cannot apply with the same resume for all the airlines. And prepare for yourself for the interview. I am sure they are going to start hiring very soon. There is going to start hiring or maybe continue recruitment process end of this year. So some exciting things are happening. In case if you're looking forward to becoming an international cabin crew, this is your chance. Thank you so much for watching my video. That's all for today. I hope I have given you all the information that I could in this video. I am sure that many of you are excited about Qatar Airways. So best of luck. See you soon.